So welcome everyone, I'm Barb Stuhlemmer with Blitz Business Success.
And I'm Grof from RG Performance Development.
And I'd like to welcome you to part 3 of our series, How to Make This the Best Year Ever.
In this particular section, we're going to be talking about how to get those supports that you need to actually make things happen.
Yeah, and why you're going to need those supports. So we're going to start off by talking about the lies we tell ourselves about the support that we have in our business.
That's an excellent conversation. You know, when we have people that are going out and they're trying things on their own, we all do it. And if you had to pick your favorite lie, which would it be?
My favorite lie really is about the time. I don't have time.
Yeah, don't have time to talk to other people. I got to put head down and go to work.
Yeah. And we're all busy. And it's true, you're in business for yourself, or you're the business owner, or you're in a management position, you are a busy person. If you have family and children, you're a busy person. And it doesn't matter if you're just a stay-at-home mom or if you are a business owner, we're all busy people. So finding the time to do something that's really important for your business or for yourself is always a challenge in life.
Exactly, and even worse than that, if you don't spend the time working on the business, you're going to be working in the business all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part here about actually taking time away from standing back, taking a look at what you're doing, so you can be a lot more productive. But so often we get stuck in that trap where we're just really on that treadmill.
Right.
And we can't see what's going on, we're not enjoying the scenery or anything anymore, we're stuck.
Yeah. So making time in your business to do certain things, if we want to do something, you will always make time. And it's really easy if it's something that's fun, like let's say you got a new camera for your company, and you will find time to set it up and play with it and do what you need to do. But if you need to grow internally or as a person, if you need to grow and need to find that time, we put that aside and say, I don't have time for that. So that's what we do.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite line?
I hear the money one a ton. You know, I don't have time, I don't have money. They seem to go hand in hand, I don't know how, but money is the one that shows up a lot. I don't have the extra money for that. I don't really need it. I can invest my money in better places.
Yeah.
Right? And I think there's a bigger lie underneath all of that, but definitely money shows up.
Yeah. So prioritizing why you want to invest in something is another way that we justify doing what we want to do. And again, maybe prioritizing the purchase of the new camera was an easy thing because we all like new toys, right?
Yeah.
We like to play. But when you want to prioritize something that is a learning, we start thinking about the fact that this is a lot of money and you know, what's my family going to think? Here I am supposed to be doing my business and I'm off learning or talking to someone or having coffee or whatever it might be. And sometimes the money is not even, it's not a large amount of money. Sometimes it's a small amount of money. We might be talking, one of my support groups, I had set up an advisory committee. And the small amount of money was $70 to give dinner to 3 people once every quarter to come and help me with my business. So justifying a $70 purchase for dinner might have been a really difficult thing for some people to do because it sounds like a dinner. It sounds like you're not really working, right? Yeah.
Well, I think that ties with it, and you can verify this easily, but when I talk to people, what I hear is 2 words that come up, and the first one is it's an expense. And the minute your mind goes to an expense, you know you're not going to get the value you're looking for. So what you want to accomplish then is say to yourself, what am I getting out of this? And what am I going to get out of this? Because then it's an investment. We can invest in non-tangibles all day long if we know what we're getting out of it emotionally. And in your business perspective, we've got to know what we're getting out of it. So we're going to talk about that on this particular video. Hopefully you'll grab a hold of that. But it's not an expense, it's an investment, and you're the person you're investing in.
Yeah, and the only time you're going to use the word expense is when you go take it to your accountant. So it is an expense you can write off, which is really great because now that $70 dinner that you had to purchase was an actual meal for an investment of your time. But it's not an expense, it really is an investment. Yeah, and it's critical, I think, because what happens is most of us are actually the people that do the work in our business. We're the technicians, we get the stuff done. If you're, you know, whether you're in a leadership capacity or whether you're actually the person that's actually making the widgets or doing whatever you need to do, making the sales, you're the person that's getting it going, and in that moment, you're the tool. And yet if we had $1 million tool, you know we'd be servicing it, you know we'd be paying thousands of dollars to have the factory representative come and take care of that, but yet for our own growth and our own personal kind of well-being, we have a hard time, you know, kind of connecting the dots on that. It's really tough. So the next thing that I find is a lie is the I don't need it. because I know everything, of course. And this comes from the fact that a lot of us get into business for ourselves because we are the technicians, and just like you were saying, we're very good at what we do. We know exactly how to run or to do the core part of our business and work in our business, but the on part of our business is something that we all have to learn when we get into business. And there's so many positions within our business, and we've talked about this in the last one where we talked about the org chart.
Right.
And so setting up your org chart and defining what all the positions you have in your business, and you realize that there's a lot of learning that's required. And taking courses to learn certain specific parts of your business is one thing, but actually getting support so that you can mentally delve into the parts that you don't understand and be supported in a way that you can really grow into those positions and become the leader that you have to become is really important.
Yeah, I find it amazing that when people get into business, they're not aware that they're actually occupying a number of hats. You know, we're also the technicians, but we're also in charge of sales, and we're also in charge of accounting, and we do janitorial too. And there's just this whole idea that we do a whole pile of different jobs. Some we're brilliant at, and some of them we're really not so good at, and it's okay. Can't be brilliant at everything. You know, we have to have that place where we understand what we're good at though, and then we need to outsource the rest and get some other players on the team, whether you're just getting somebody to come in temporarily a little bit here and there, or whether you've got somebody that's a full-fledged team member.
Yeah, I have a client who is extremely busy, and he is very good at what he does, and his company is a multi-million-dollar company, but he's still holding a lot of the hats. Way too many for him to be you know, efficient at what he does, and he finds that basically he spends all his time in business.
Exactly.
And trying to manage the things that have to get done are now starting to fall through the cracks. Because he can't do everything. He can't look after the shipping, he can't look after his tax refunds, he can't look after this, he needs to be able to, so where do you know, who's supporting you with this? Why are you not handing these things over? So support comes in a whole different level when you start looking at a company that you already have employees in. So he has several employees. Why is he not handing it over? I don't know. This is another mindset.
Well, that brings the last one up to focus, and it's called control. We've heard the words control freak. I'm a control freak. We have a lot of people that actually come up and say, you know what, I'm a control freak, and I'm okay with that. And there's a place that you need to maintain control as a leader, and you need to lead at other times and let go and let people grow. The more we hang on to, though, the less likely we're going to lead.
Yeah, well, and leadership really is about. It's about having followers, not having people who fall into place. So, oh, thank you.
Like that.
Oh, thank you. And you don't want to tell people what to do. You don't want to tell them that you're taking over. You're going to look after this one little piece. You want them to take it on and grow and become a huge part of your business, so they add value to your business as well as yourself. And you will find there, if you have the right people working in your business and they're following your lead because you're leading in a way that shows them exactly how you want your business to grow and what's valuable and what's important to you as a brand for your business, they will do that. And you will have an astonishingly amazing business in that. Yeah.
I learned something, geez, it must have been a number of years back. I love this saying though, and it actually changed the way I was thinking about everything I was doing in my business. And what the thought was is that you want to hire in those areas that you're not brilliant at, people that are way better than you can do. And you want to let the experts do what the experts do. And I thought about that for a minute, and I thought, if I got an expert in every one of my positions, I would just be sailing. And I thought, what a great idea. Rather than me struggling at doing something and taking 4 times as long, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and that goes back to the control. That's one of the hardest things to do, is to let go of a position that you're very good at and hire someone who's actually better. So being able to recognize that it's okay to have someone who's, in fact, it's better to have someone who's better at it than you are, because then you can easily let go of it without worry that they're not going to be competent or capable.
Exactly. So wonderful thoughts on the lies that we tell ourselves. What about some of the benefits to actually getting a team going? What would that look like?
Well, our friend Carol here was talking earlier, and she had said that one of the things is the overwhelm and less stress. So one of the benefits really about having people in place is that there's less for you to do, there's less for you to worry about, there's a lot more confidence that comes with your decision making, there's a lot more freedom to be able to do things. So the stress level is a lot less.
Well, I think even with the stress too, though, what happens is we go to a place where stress actually improves our performance, because we perform under the gun.
Yes.
But then we hit that place where the stress has gotten too much, and we actually drop right down in performance, and our quality of life goes down. Our health is not as good. Our key relationships start to suffer, and you're not sleeping at night anymore. You're waking up at 4 o'clock with your mind clogged. you know, in those moments, stress isn't serving you anymore. You're serving stress. So the key is about learning where your stress maximum is.
Yeah.
And then turning around and getting away from as much stress as possible. You will actually increase your performance and go faster.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I never, I do perform. Maybe we all do. I don't know. Maybe you know the statistics on that, but I definitely perform better under a deadline if I have something that has to get done. And I think, and that level, when I'm in that mode, I'm so happy to be going. Like, I feel really good. Things are getting done, but I can imagine if I'm trying to manage that project or whatever it is that's in that deadline, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm trying to manage everything else outside of that, if I have more than one project going and I can't look after the other ones, then that stress level becomes overwhelming, and this first project will suffer.
Yes, because your focus goes down, your head clouds over, and you sit there for 2 hours and go, geez, what did I get done in the last 2 hours? Yeah, so one of those moments, right?
Yeah.
So stress is not serving you in those points and times.
Yeah.
Another benefit would be, in my mind, is that if you're actually getting a good support team, things are going to happen a lot faster. It's going to be a much nicer, much better. You're not going to get sidetracked. You're not going to get derailed by those things that show up. You're going to find yourself moving forward in a way that you can really have something to celebrate.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with accountability. I think when you have the right team in place, and if you tell someone you're going to do something, and you don't do it, even if you haven't said, I'll give you $20 if I don't do this. It doesn't have to be under a duress or under a bet or anything, but if you tell someone you're going to do something and you don't do it, there is a failing that you feel in yourself, particularly if you have to go back and tell that person that you didn't do it. So having some kind of accountability partner puts you in a place to actually finish the things that you say you're going to do in a certain amount of time. And a lot of times they will challenge you. If you have the right partners in your support teams, they will challenge you to do the things and get them done in a timely manner. In which case, if you are moving forward and someone's watching you and you're watching yourself, and you will get things done faster. You can't go slower. You can't go slower. You have to go faster.
Yeah, so it's the theory of the pack.
Oh,
if the pack's running, you got to stay with the pack or you get out of the pack.
Yes.
Right? And the ones that come out of the pack get eaten. So it's not a good thing. Simple theory, works really well. Yeah, it's a kind of a sports thing, but we love that little analogy. You mentioned something when we were just setting up the video here, something about open mind. Say more about that, because that was huge.
Well, it's the growth that you get and the mindset you have changes as you become more of a leader in what you can do. And as you take on more in your business and you recognize and become the expert at the things that you're going to do within your business, and you hand off the things that you shouldn't be doing. Really, in business, there's only a few things we should be working on as the owner. We should be working on the connections, like our sales and our brand, and so the marketing, and we should be working on our position, which in most of our cases is like a CEO, so the development of the company. So everything else should be done by someone else. And when we're small, the development of the company means working with our clients and whatnot. But you can't grow a company and not change your mindset. You can't be the employee you were when you started. You can't be the technician. You have to now be leading people. You have to be able to work through a contract or a conflict. You have to be able to, so to be able to do this and to be able to do it without flipping out, without being hurt, there's a whole different level, and the mindset of the growth becomes a huge place in where you can just develop so many new things, and that takes us to our next one, which is the opportunities.
Opportunities, yeah.